Come on, everybody. Come on out here. Let me walk you through this for my latest retirement project. This is a 1999 made for 2000 Walker MC16. It had the TH16S motor in it, a Kohler V-twin, 16 horsepower. Saw it on Craigslist for $250. It had some issues, or still has some issues, and I've been playing with it, working with it. My old 95 Murray 42 inches in the backyard. It's got front end issues. I broke the pitman arm on it, and decided it was time to retire the Murray and get something better. And this is a lot better than the Murray. Let me walk you through it, show you some features about it. My dad had one of these. He was in partners with my cousin Tommy. They had a landscaping service. I managed to inherit his Walker with the Honda 6 horse, I think it was, 6.5 horse in it. And I loved it, and I kicked myself in the head for not keeping it. I think my stepmother got it. I don't know where it is now. But anyway, I have one now, and let me show you some of the features I like over the other zero turns. First of all, throttle for your blade speed. This lever here controls the tractor speed. Now you can control the tractor speed either pulling back or forward, okay? But if you want to dead set it and just keep it at a crawl, you can push this forward or pull it back, okay? Pull it back, you're at an idle. It stops. Push it forward all the way, it'll go fast. What I like about this one over the other zero turns is you notice that the levers are in the center console between your legs. Others come out to the side on either side. You pull them down and you hold them. Well, that takes two hands. The Walker design, I can actually run this. Let me change hands here. I can't, my left hand's kind of hurt, so I can actually run this and steer it with one hand, with the left, and the right control the speed. For me, that's a big plus. So when you get into thick grass, you can pull him back, and you can run with your mower deck, still at the blade speed, at the same speed, and still control it, and then have your speed control on this side. What I like about this model over the one I had before is the mower deck. This has got the newer style mower deck on it. This is a 36-inch side discharge. Now all Walkers have been this way. Well, not all of them. The one I had wasn't. These are peerless drive assemblies. There is no drive belts. It has a PTO shaft. If you look back in there, you'll see the PTO. If I can get it open. There. Here's the universal. Grease fittings. Lots of grease. Okay. These are self-lubricating. It comes out through the PTO, through the yoke, and there's a T here. It has a shaft that goes off both sides. These are sealed units. There's gaskets in it. Okay? And they're coupled. The 90-weight gear lube runs through all of this. So once you fill it up and service it, these are all self-lubricated. Roller bearings, ball bearings, all ball bearings. You could take this peerless 90-degree off on either side, put it on the bench, pull it down, and put new bearings and seals in it, and you're good to go again. Same thing with the T-drive and the universal joints. There's grease fittings all over this tractor. It's made to service. Saying it's made to service, this is one of the things I like about it. You can come over and you can unhook it, uncouple it by pulling this out. I've got it all the way out. It'll slide back in. All right, you pull this out, throw it off to the side, reach down, right, and pull this up, and the whole mower deck lifts up and locks in place, right? You can see the lock right there. The hook and the latch, you see it? And it'll latch in place, and you can hold it there, and you can take these blades off, which I do have a new set to pick up, and change the blades out or sharpen them in place. Then you come back over and you push it down and lock it. Back out, and you're ready to go. Huh? Ah, that hurt. Okay, let's look underneath the hood, and you'll see right off the bat, there's no motor. I got 2 good days from early morning to sunset. I got 2 good days out of this tractor before it gave up. I did service the hydrostats, the gearboxes. See, these are Eden 7 hydrostats. They'll unbolt. You can take them off, send them to the shop, or you could rebuild them yourself. A little bit to it. If you're not into that, just take them off and do an exchange on them. But here you go. Here's the drive belt for the mowers. It comes off the front of the engine where the flywheel is. And I'll show you the PTO shaft. Goes into a 90-degree and out through a drive shaft to the front to the mower deck. I've had this down already. Cleaned him up a lot. This part of the tractor is ready to go. There's some things I'd like to do if I wanted to gold plate it. There's a set of bearings here on this jack shaft I'd like to replace. There's a bearing and a pulley down there that I'd like to replace. And this guy, he's a little loose, but you can buy those and replace them yourself. It's designed to be maintained. When I first got it, the parking brakes, it's got a parking brake on either side of the hydrostats right here. They were frozen in place, and I got them so they'll work now somewhat, but we couldn't move the tractor. Okay, so basically the motor ran hot, it backfired, and it threw the timing belt. And this particular motor, the MC16 Kohler, is a special breed. Here we go, back into the 90s. We have a timing belt. And look how worn that timing belt is. This is actually the second engine that's been in this unit. This is number 2. It was sat right here. I broke it on purpose. I just got tired of trying it. It was coming off anyway. But if you could see just how worn that is. Okay? This thing was packed. Here's number 1. Number 1 isn't much better. Wore out. Those are about $24 a piece, $25, maybe $27 a piece for those. The tensioner that goes here, that tensions the belt, it's not spring loaded. You have to pull it down to 30 foot-pounds and lock it in place. The tensioner is about $57. The belt's about $22. Just to get this motor back together and running with the gaskets, it's going to be about $150. Here is the thing with the motor. Not all Kohler engines are alike. This one was made for Walker, and you'll notice there's no output shaft. Okay, it doesn't need it. Everything is off the flywheel. It has a 4-bolt PTO shaft that comes off the flywheel that runs the pulleys off the front of the motor, and I'll show that to you here in a second. But I left this right here, show and tell. That's the way that this motor looked. I mean, it was packed full. It was really packed full of oil-soaked dust. It was so packed, I couldn't see this oil pump pulley. It's worn, and you can't buy it anymore. The thing about this motor, there's no cylinder heads. This motor is molded as one piece with the cylinder head, overhead cam, cylinder head, block, everything from here up is one piece. Even the intake manifold is part of the head. This doesn't come apart. This doesn't come apart. The liners are pressed in from the bottom to the top instead of the top to the bottom, and you have a head holding the liner in place. All that's good. It's all cheap. There's no roller bearings in it. It is not the Kohler that your father or your grandfather had. Kohler's even embarrassed about it, and they quit making them, and they don't sell parts for them anymore. That's how bad they are. Here's what happened. This is on the ground. It sucks up debris. It plugs the fins up like this. See how it was? It overheats, the aluminum expands, and the liner drops down. The piston and the rings come up to the top, they expand, and they actually drag the liner down into the crankcase, and the rings can't go down any further, snaps the rod, and blows the motor up. This is the second motor that's been in this unit, and it's a 2006. So, the overheating problem, the liner problem, the timing belt, I'm going like, do I really want this motor in my tractor? Okay, now here comes the fun. Walker will sell you a kit to upgrade this to a Kohler Command engine, 18 to 22 horse, for $565. It comes with the templates that shows you where to cut this out, and all the plumbing for the air filter and the linkage and all this, for $565. That's the kit alone. The motors, depending on the horsepower, start at 17 and change up to $2,300. So you could have almost $3,000 tied up into this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a Harbor Freight Predator 22 horsepower clone motor. It is supposed to be, some say it is, some say it's not, but it's supposed to be a clone of the Honda GX670 motor. And I'm going to try putting that in it. I joined the Insiders Club that gives me a $100 discount. That should be $599 for the motor. Complete with air filter and muffler, everything. It's supposed to be the same. I measured it too by the prints. It's the same bolt pattern, the same oil plug position as the Kohler and Honda, and the Briggs & Stratton. It's made as a universal motor. The only problem that you're going to have when you do that is, for my application, there's a PTO adapter I bought, and it's on its way for $49.95. And on the front of this motor, I can't hardly pick it up. I won't. On the front of this motor, there's a 4-bolt pattern. And on the Hondas and the Predator and others, there's a 3-bolt pattern. And this sticks out about 3/4 of an inch off of the shaft. This big pulley, you can see the first pulley here with my finger in it, that actually runs the hydrostats. The others, the 3 on the back side of this pulley, runs the mower deck. So there's enough play in this shaft that I could slide it back to make up the extension almost 3/4 of an inch. If not, I'll take it down to the machine shop and have them cut this back. So it gives me that extra 3/4 of an inch. Why I can't use my left hand is because I hit it with a hammer. And I couldn't get the pulleys off the shaft to pull it apart, or the flywheel off that motor with the puller I had. So I bought this for $43. If you do anything, I would recommend that guy. It was effortless. They make this in a 5-ton and a 12-ton. It's for pulling pulleys off and balancers and that type of thing. It's universal, really. I didn't even know I was putting pressure on it. It was that easy. So it pulled this off like nothing. I'm going like, wow. I've struggled all these years with other pulleys. Now, another thing I like about the Walker over other mowers, or zero turn, especially this one, is, let me show you what I've learned with my dad's mower. If I can pull this down. All right, I'm going to trip this. I should have showed you this before. I'm going to have to open this up for the air box for the Predator. I know that already. But what I like about this, let's say this is a shrubbery or a bush or something like that. You can take and you can hook that bush right in there, and you can maneuver it so that is right there at that wheel. And I've already did this with this tractor. You can actually hold it, right, and then push this lever forward and hold them and maintain this back a little bit so it doesn't hurt the tree. And it will actually spin all the way around that tree or fence line, clothesline. That was pretty neat. I can actually walk that around the bush without actually hurting. I was doing it without even touching the bush. And it'll sit there and it will spin all the way around. Pretty neat. So that's my project. I got my inside membership card coming in the mail. And I'll use that for the discount for the motor. And I'll pick up the motor and I'll uncrate it and just see if it will slide in here. And if it does, and if I got, I'll go on to the next step. The PTO adapter should be here Saturday, and that's not bad for $250. I did put a set of tires on it. Those are not Walker tires. They want $214 for the tires mounted. So I went to Northern Tool. Those are actually higher rated tires for a golf cart. Same bolt pattern for $67. The only thing you have to do is use the 1/4 inch spacer because the wheel offset is different, and I moved them out. And this one back here is a Marathon. It's one of those never go flat tires. And it came with bushings in it, And while I was there, I got the ball bearings, and I knocked them out. And that's got ball bearings in it now. And if you notice, there's a grease fitting on it. There's a grease fitting there. Lots of grease fittings all over this tractor. So that's my project. I got another one inside, but I'll show you that one a little later. That was an interesting project. But that's my latest project to retire the old 23-year-old Murray I got in the backyard. I think this is going to be fun. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I rattled on a lot. That was a long video, but I wanted to catch you up to date what I've been doing. I'm doing great, fine. Struggling with my left hand though. That hurt. But I'm getting better. So I'll keep you posted on the walker. Another one of those things I've always wanted. Alright guys, thanks again. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.